Well, staying with all matters to do with the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, businessman and ANC member Suleiman Carrim will on Thursday learn if he'll have to appear before the Madlanga Commission. He's applied to interdict the inquiry, which has subpoenaed him to testify. Karim arguing that the commission relied on the wrong rules in its attempt to have him appear before it. He was implicated by Witness X and the KZN Police Commissioner Madlanga Commission, among other people at that inquiry. Karim's lawyers claiming that the commission has made its bias very clear through a responding affidavit, but the inquiry wants the matter struck off the roll due to a lack of urgency, they say. All right, let's try and get an update now. Our reporter, Juniour Khumalo, has been following this story for us. He joins me in studio tonight. Juniour, good evening to you. Let's understand, in layman's terms, because court language can be very confusing at times, what is the argument being mounted by Mr. Karim through his lawyers for why he refuses to go to testify at the Madlanga Commission?
I think it's one of those arguments, Xoli, that a lot of people would have expected, especially given the short timeframes that the Madlanga Commission itself was given to put everything together. They didn't have enough time, basically, to tell individuals who were implicated by others that they are going to be implicated. So Rule 3 of the Commission itself requires that the Commission tells individuals before they appear that, listen, Mr. Mkhunu is going to implicate you in his testimony. You could bring in your lawyers then so that they follow that testimony. And if they want to object or want to cross-examine, then they can indicate as such. So this did not happen. And last year we did hear the commission chairperson, Mr. Madlanga himself, asking the evidence leaders why some of these things did not happen. At the time, we did get a response. They saying that they didn't have enough time. So today we saw this basically feature prominently during that court appearance. But also in terms of Regulation 10.6, this grants the commission the opportunity to call a witness or to ask the witness to supply a statement. So in terms of Mr. Karim himself, he seems to suggest that they wanted him to do both, which he felt was unfair to him. But we've seen the commission asking a lot of people to submit witness statements so that they go through that witness statement and it aids the witnesses before the commission so that they remember some of these things. So the commission legal advisor, legal representative today, basically saying that we were doing it for his behalf so that he can also follow some of these statements. We were not being malicious in asking him to do both. He could have chosen to do one or the other. But also the challenge today, Xoli, was that he was appearing before the courts and trying to say that this is an urgent application. So the court had to deal with whether this was urgent or whether this was self-inflicted urgency, because that is what the lawyers representing Madlanga were saying. They were saying that you knew as late as last year in October that you're going to be appearing before the commission. So why did you wait until now, the 11th hour, and only gave the commission 2 days to respond before the courts? So that was quite a challenge, but he seems to suggest that I was only subpoenaed in December. The commission, because it stood down in December, then withdrew that subpoena and issued another subpoena earlier this year. So the urgency for him, according to his legal team, the clock started running earlier this year. That's why he was a bit unhappy by the proceedings.
Today, Juniour, not listening to the proceedings in court, but listening to the Madlanga inquiry, because how it started, Witness F seemingly mounting almost a similar stance. I'm not going to say the same argument, but a stance. And that is to say, whatever he is going to say at the commission is going to be self-incriminating. And therefore, the commission's evidence leader almost putting it plainly that actually what is intended here, in fact even supported by some of the commissioners, is that you possibly are mounting an argument that basically tells us plainly that you will never actually come before this commission. And I'm using this as an example to almost test or gauge from you whether this was or this is indeed also the stance of Mr. Karim to say, actually, I would rather not go before that commission.
This
is that what you're
actually
reading?
the sense that we're also getting, because even the legal representatives of the commission were saying that if you are granted this interdict or a postponement, you might as well not appear before the commission given the tight timeframes. Currently, the commission is set to end its work on the 16th of March. So if there is any postponement that's granted, scheduling-wise, it will be a challenge then to fit Mr. Karim in. But speaking about what happened with Witness F, it featured very prominently, especially from Mr. Karim's lawyers. They were seemingly suggesting that this is not an anomaly. Mr. Karim, the manner in which he was treated, it's not an anomaly. Just today, before the commission, there is yet another witness who's also raising some of these concerns and saying that they were not given enough time to prepare. And by the way they are being forced to appear before the commission, despite telling the commission that they are not ready, is going to implicate them. And they might not be ready to answer the questions the way they would have if they were given a lot more time. So this was the argument that was basically used by Mr. Karim's lawyers. But of course, the commission lawyers saying that he has been given enough time. He knew as far back as October last year. So if he had to prepare anything for the commission, then he had enough time to prepare that.
Juniour Khumalo, thank you very much indeed, giving us an update on what went on in court, an application by Mr. Suleiman Carrim, a businessman and also someone linked to the African National Congress, about why it is that they feel they should not be compelled to go and give testimony before the Madlanga inquiry.